Good day and welcome to Channel Up, the space where we dissect the issues that is shaking our that are shaking our society, trending matters that won't let Nigerians rest, and the deep questions that linger long after the headlines fade. Today, I return to a story that has haunted the entertainment world for a while: the media and the ordinary people on the street. The never-ending quest for justice for the late Ilerioluwa Oladimeji Aloba, popularly known as Mohbad. Now, for months, Nigerians have watched with mixed emotions as the twists and turns around Mohbad's death unfold. From the loud outcry, everybody knows that there has been issues for a while. Of course, especially the outcry that forced the Lagos state government to exhume his body for autopsy, to the conflicting voices from family members, industry colleagues, activists, and even fans. One thing has remained very constant, though: justice for Mohbad has been very, very slow, complicated too, and maybe emotionally draining. Now, a fresh dimension has entered the conversation, one that touches on maybe the most delicate aspect of Mohbad's legacy: the paternity of his son Liam. Just a few days ago, according to reports, yesterday to be precise, a magistrate court sitting in Ikorodu, Lagos, gave a landmark order. The court directed that two DNA tests be carried out to confirm whether or not Liam is truly Mohbad's biological child. According to the order, one of the tests will be done in an accredited Nigerian facility and the other in a reputable medical facility abroad. Both parties are to be present during the sample collection, and the chief medical officer at the military hospital in Yaba, where Mohbad's remains are still kept, has been authorized to extract whatever biological samples are needed for this process. Oh, wow. Well, we're getting somewhere. This was not a sudden move. The story actually began earlier in 2024 when Mohbad's father, Mr. Joseph Aloba, first filed the suit demanding the DNA test. So everything went on and went on and went on until we got to the stage where we were. If you've been following this particular update, you would understand that the DNA for Liam has been one thing that everybody has had on their minds for a long time now. I think who began the DNA test talk was Dr. Kemi Olunloyo, and then VDM followed suit. Okay, or VDM began the DNA talk, and then Dr. Kemi followed suit. So if you ask me, I would say this is what we all have been waiting for. All right. So the truth is, if Liam and his case about paternity are sorted, then we will be able to know the next step to take. If Liam has been found not to be Mohbad's son, according to the updates we've been hearing from VDM, from Dr. Kemi Olunloyo and all, that means this Jamaican woman has to be subjected to her own DNA. Okay, then we would know who really is Mohbad's heir. Okay, then we will know who the royalties will be sent to aside Mohbad's immediate family. I don't know if you're with me. So that is what I feel this is all about. And these are not speculations, these are legitimate claims. Okay, so let's see where all this leads. Personally, I believe that this development shows us how messy justice can be when emotions and family disputes and issues that are unresolved are, on ground. It is painful to watch a child's identity debated in court while the real question stands. So, what exactly happened to Mohbad on that September day in 2023 remains unanswered, and this can be a key to what is going to give us answers to that. Yet, the court has spoken, and this test is now part of the long road towards the truth for justice for Mohbad. Whether it brings closure or it deepens the cracks in Mohbad's family, we don't know. Only time will tell. That is that on that particular update. But this is not the only recent update in the struggle for justice. Now, I will transition to Abuja. In Abuja, I have something for you. The Federal Capital Territory, of course, where actor and filmmaker and activist Yomi Fabiyi, who has been on this Mohbad's case too for a while, staged a lone protest calling for justice for Mohbad. Only him went for protest. In a country like this, where protests are often silenced or hijacked by groups or even hidden agendas, Yomi's decision to stand alone with his own signboard, his placard in the heart of Abuja was a bold statement. He carried inscriptions demanding answers on why Mohbad's autopsy has dragged on for so long and why the case appears to be losing, the kind of heat despite the loud public outcry. Now, at this point in that protest, I thought nobody was viewing him until I saw him on video. So without much ado, let me avail the video for you. Though it's short, but look at Yomi Fabi when he was lying down on the streets and advocating for justice for Mohbad. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Looking at that video, one cannot help but reflect on how far Nigerians have gone in demanding accountability for Mohbad's death. Yomi's lone protest may seem small in scale compared to the mass rallies that we've been seeing since 2023, but symbolically it is powerful. It shows that even though the headlines have cooled down, although it's trending now, there are still individuals refusing to let the system, quietly bury this matter. And in Nigeria's reality, where cases drag for years and sometimes fade without resolution, voices like Yomi Fabi's voice are often what keep the flame alive, if you ask me. So, from my own take, however, while this kind of protest creates awareness, they are not enough to move institutions and to move on to make positive moves. What we need is consistency, collective pressure, and legal clarity. Now, the court ordering a DNA test on Liam is one aspect of this case. The autopsy result and eventual trial of those allegedly responsible for Mohbad's death, if there are people like that, is another thing. Unless Nigerians demand both at the same time and simultaneously, justice might remain incomplete. That is what I feel. So, what does all this mean for the ordinary Nigerian that is watching from the sidelines from outside? It means justice is still in motion, but it is still crawling. It means public pressure works, but it requires patience and persistence. And it means that Mohbad's death is not just an entertainment industry matter. It is a test case for how maybe Nigeria would handle high profile tragedies, family disputes, and maybe they cry for justice, especially in this kind of case. So, before I close today's session, here is my take. Quickly, the DNA order may help clarify one angle, and Yomi's protest also may help clarify another. Okay, but not go that far. So, will justice ever be fully served in Nigeria when influence, money, and a divided public opinion are in play? That is the haunting question. We've seen lots of things happen. We've seen two nurses come up. We've seen a blanket allegedly burnt and all. So that is the issue. We don't know how far. We don't know what is involved. We don't know. I don't know. We don't know the main details of this case. So I would advise that this DNA test be done. So we'll move from there and know what is going to happen from that place, because this is the point where everything will start from. We will know why there was a fake DNA at the first time. We will know what happened to. Thank God there are two hospitals involved, so there won't be issues to say, okay, there was a manipulation. If the one in Nigeria manipulates, for example, the one abroad will not manipulate. If the one abroad manipulates, the one in Nigeria may not manipulate. So we'll see how far these things go and how quick enough these things can be done. Remember, the court has agreed to adjourn on 11th November, so we'll know what will happen on 11th November. Don't forget, Papa Mohbad is the person that will be on this DNA issue, and then I hope he gets the funding because he's the person to fund the DNA according to the court order. So let us hope that things get positive for Baba Mohbad as time goes on, especially as he tries to get justice for his son. We have been on this for a while now. Thank you for tuning in to Channel Up. If you found this discussion engaging, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with others so the conversation doesn't stop here. And let me leave you with this thought. If justice delayed is truly justice denied, at what point do we as a society admit that justice has been lost? Until next time, this is Channel Up, signing out. Peace.